Hello everyone, welcome back to the Ori All Skills Tournament. We have one more match ready for you guys today, and that is going to be coming from the Mount Horror group. It is Red versus SonicBuster. I'm RedR3dRum, and I'm joined for commentary by Poogle. How are you doing, Poogle?
I'm doing alright, Rory. How are you doing?
Doing well. I'm looking forward to this match. This is going to be an interesting one. This is going to be Red's first race of the tournament and Sonic's last race of group stage.
Now, Red is the only one of her group that has not yet had a race yet. So it's going to be really interesting. I remember talking to her a bit before, and she's really nervous about this, but I think she's going to do pretty well.
I think that's true. Red was in the last tournament as well, so has been on the scene for quite a while. So we'll have to see how things look for this tournament, and this is going to be a good chance to see that. So, in terms of implications for this, though, Sonic wants to get a win on the board.
Now, Sonic is going to be using controller and keyboard mouse, while RedR3dRum is just going to be doing keyboard and mouse. And
Yes.
both, despite what the stats page is saying, both are going to be running 6 HP, and I believe are going to be taking the exact same HP cells.
Yes, that's correct. They're both going to be going for the early health cell in Glades and the 5th health cell before Sorrow Pass for that extra little bit of safety. Aside from that, we are about to get underway. Just going to transition over to the race screen soon and kick off our runners. So, before we take off, I do want to point out the about 6-minute PB discrepancy here between Red and Sonic. Red with a high 38.54, and Sonic 44.36. Looks like we are underway. Just a second here.
That transition is always so pretty.
Isn't it? So we've got our runners just hovering on the start button.
Red is on the left while Sonic is on the right.
And are we gonna go? We are hopefully about to go.
It's like we're just about ready to get started.
There we go.
There we are.
And they're off. So, as usual, we'll see prologue skips and pretty much just jumps down to sign. Nothing really too exciting for the first little bit of the race. I wouldn't expect to see anything more than a few frames of lead in either direction for the first couple minutes.
Just a lot of optimizing where jumps are going, jumping over spikes, over not clean water, which we never end up fixing.
Of course not. That would be a little slower. But Red taking a little bit of a lead because Sonic had some slightly slower jumps and opted to drop through that log instead of jumping over it. So coming up on sign, very slight lead, but it's not really going to matter too much. It could swing either way with any little bit of cleaner movement from one side or the other, or a death or a small mistake or anything.
Absolutely. And even if they end up being really even out of Glades, Blackroot Burrows is going to be a very good determination of who's going to come out first.
At least for this early game. Blackroot, of course, very notorious for having lots of deadly things in it. About all of the different types of dangers of the game. It's probably in Blackroot somewhere.
We've got spikes, we've got death lasers, we've got death shooty things. Pretty much anything you can think of. But
of course, we've got to get there first, and we hope to see our runners make it through with no issues. A little bit of a pickup animation on the platform, or on the bounce pad, not on the platform up above for Sonic. So slightly slower there. Heading over towards this first ghost door. Sonic opting to kill a lot of brambles and that slime. So, again, slight time differences depending on early strats and XP routing here. So we'll see how that manifests itself once we get towards wall jump. Oh no. Sonic looked like she misjudged her health a little bit there. Took an extra damage off of that slime when she didn't need to. So that's gonna send her all the way back to the into the Frankie fight.
Ooh, little setback in the early game. You know, Red heading down towards wall jump, dodging the slimes effortlessly.
Yes, but that of course is just that's just something that is really unfortunate about this early game for Ori, is that there's no safety whatsoever. One tiny little mistake like that costs a lot of time because we just don't have the energy to save.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, those early deaths are things that we don't want to see.
Red looking a little short on experience.
I'm gonna stop to kill some brambles here, because there's no level up there. It's not actually going to be faster either way. Would have had to stop to kill those anyways.
Sonic through the ghost door now.
That's
and
good.
On the left side, Red coming up to the first skill of the game, wall jump.
Well, technically it's the second skill, but it's the first real skill. It's very hard to play the game without sign. Though technically doable. But wall jump is, of course, our first and primary method of wall interaction. So now our runners are actually able to backtrack up out of this dead-end area, head towards Blackroot, because we need dash.
Absolutely. Dash is one of the two skills that we get down in that area, and the more useful one of the two. Because dash allows us to go a lot faster moving down on the ground, so we don't have to jump everywhere.
Right, and dash is, of course, going to become the primary method of movement once the runners pick it up. Sonic does get that level up there. That's a nice few seconds time save that Red wasn't able to pick up. So that'll start making up for that death.
Absolutely.
But still a long way to go, unfortunately. Looking at give or take a minute of deficit at wall jump. Red, meanwhile, coming up on Blackroot. He's, of course, going to be doing the save anywhere to skip that entrance cutscene, and then heading on into the really dangerous early game area.
It's also a really dangerous later game area. It's just, once you have all the movement options, everyone makes it look real easy. And Red taking Rekindle. No, Red taking Magnet. My mistake.
Yep, most runners will be taking Magnet. There are a couple crazy people who don't, but still, the early sort of levels can be just sort of personal preference. Like some people prefer Magnet, some people don't. Basically.
Sonic choosing to kill the slimes in the elbow instead of jumping over them.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a safer strat, I think. Sometimes if you just sort of get the slime cycles a little bit wrong, then that damage boost just doesn't work right, and you end up taking 2 hits instead of 1. So I can respect the safety decisions, especially after that early death.
Agreed.
I had a little bit of trouble getting up to this XP orb here. This orb is... Oh, okay.
They save it. Oh, she saves it.
She didn't fall down. If she'd fallen down, she would have had to drop the orb and then climb all the way back up.
Oh, that would have wasted even more time.
She still has a sizable lead to play with here.
That she does.
Sonic, a little trouble getting that save anywhere to come up. It is a trick that requires you to put in 2 inputs on the same frame, so doing it manually, it looked like not necessarily the easiest thing in the world to get 100%. But it looks like she does get it, gets the cutscene skip, and is through into Blackroot.
Red pausing just briefly for a moment to see if she can manipulate the platform cycles both in this and the next room. Because, well, you can't see the platforms in the next room when you get up to these. They are moving. So, and she looks like she gets it spot on.
Nice. nice job. That all of these cycles in Blackroot tend to be around 8 seconds, so it's nice to just be able to take a little bit of time and manipulate that to be a little bit less. But then, of course, if you miss one, you just sort of have to sit there and wait. Sonic also struggling with this wall jump up to this 100 orb. This is a little bit of a pain point, it looks like, in this race. Meanwhile, Red on the left is going to be taking another save anywhere to skip this, to skip part of this Darkness Rising cutscene. So we used to think that was unskippable, but now we're able to just spin another point and pick up Dash a little bit faster.
Sonic really high on her XP right now.
Yeah, it looks to me like she's gonna have to dodge the slime.
Yeah, I don't think she can kill any of the other slimes in here without leveling up.
So and hopefully she's aware of that and is gonna adapt to it.
Because early XP routing is extremely important for the trick coming up on what Red's doing.
On Red's screen, and that is Frankie Walk.
Oh no, the laser!
Oh, at least she had a safety save up here before this 100 orb.
Ooh. Yeah, over on Red's side, Red is taking this Frankie all the way up through these spikes to this 4 energy door that normally we shouldn't be able to get through yet. But since a level up refills your energy, we can kill the Frankie right near the door, level, and trick the door into thinking that we have all 4 energy at the same time.
Nice. Into the Death Gauntlet for Red. So far it looks good, just gotta dodge this Frankie.
And under.
And that is through the hard part. As long as nothing crazy happens, you should be free to get to this energy cell and then take safety save.
And she takes it right there. I think she's only on 1 health now, so this could be a little dicey.
Meanwhile, Sonic making it up to the Dash Tree room finally. Good dodges on that slime in order to not pick up any XP from that. Does unfortunately miss the platform cycle, but that's not really a huge deal. It's much better than it would be to take another death or to have to kill that slime and miss the level up or something.
Absolutely. Red coming up to the next ghost door in front of the double jump tree. Looks like she had 2 HP there. She had to do a bit more damaging.
Yep. If you don't set up that ghost door properly, we do have pretty good setups for it, but sometimes it's easy to just sort of lose track of how much health you have.
And both of them doing a save anywhere, one to skip Sonic to skip the darkness cutscene, and Red to do some blind movement away from this double jump tree and gets up the wall even.
That's actually a good bit of progress for that blind movement, making it up that wall and heading across. So she'll be coming up on Grotto Skip in just a minute. We'll see how that ends up going. Meanwhile, Sonic heading towards Frankie Walk.
Sonic choosing to do a harmless cosmetic glitch that can be done with the fact that now she is rainbow dashing.
Yep, there is a way that you can just toggle rainbow dash on, and as you can see, it just makes rainbows come out from where you dash instead of the regular white particle trail.
However, it also makes dashes and C dashes sound the same. So.
Yep, I've always found that to be a little confusing when you get to the late game.
Red looking like really good getting this wall. Only took about 3 or 4 tries for Grotto Skip too.
Yeah, that was some really clean wall climbing from Red up there. Grabs the XP, and now we watch the Goomba cutscenes backwards and pick up the water vein. So Red will now be making her way over towards the Ginso tree to put this double jump to use for all of the platforming and vertical movement.
No! Sonic taking a death in the Death Gauntlet in the water.
Oh, that is not what you want to see. That poison water is just so easy to die in.
Ah, she's gonna do Frankie Walk all over again.
If any one little thing goes wrong in that poison water, you take too much damage, or you can't get out. You just end up all the way back at the start of Frankie Walk. Fortunately, she did have a save on the teleporter. Doesn't go all the way back to dash.
That's good. Red picking up this ability cell and heading into the area of Thornfelt Swamp and the Ginso tree.
Alright, Sonic. Sonic making another attempt at this poison water.
Oops.
Oh, man.
Oh.
That is so scary. I thought that Frankie was going to slip down off that ledge and hit her.
Oh, so did I. That was terrifying, but she gets through it. Oh, that almost looked planned. That's scary.
It did almost look planned. Please save. Please save, Sonic.
Please.
There it is.
Save. Okay. Oh.
Alright, Sonic entering the Moon Grotto, the depths of the Moon Grotto, while Red starts off at the bottom of the Ginso tree.
Ginso tree being the only dungeon we really do any significant portion of, putting that double jump skill to use almost immediately.
Yep. It's extremely, extremely difficult to do any of Ginso without double jump. I like to think of double jump more as giving horizontal movement, more so than vertical movement. But without that little tiny bit of vertical movement that it gives you, you can't get through those, you can't get through that second room on those hanging platforms.
And I'm being told by our truckers that that is actually something Sonic has done before.
That Frankie dodge?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I'm being told she's done that in a previous race, actually.
That's an interesting strategy, but hey, if it works.
Absolutely.
There's anything to not get hit by that guy. There are multiple different strats for that. It really is just preference on the runners. So Sonic opting not to go for blind movement after the double jump tree. A little bit of stumbling over those enemies, but she gets through all right and is now going to make her way up towards the water vein and just chase after Red,
whom is in the middle of dealing with this mini boss. Now, this mini boss in Ginso is about the only bit of RNG we really have in the run. The mini boss can spawn in any one of 5 places in this room. Now, there's a 1-frame tell that's a little blip of a white light almost where the mini boss will spawn, but that's hard to keep track of. So, if you can keep track of it, you can, but otherwise you just gotta figure out where it's going and how to get rid of it.
Sonic making her attempts at Grotto Skip. Come on, Sonic. Oh no! Red, not quite enough health here. Takes a hit on those spikes and just gets sent back to the end of the mini-boss.
Sonic also having a 4th attempt at Grotto Skip and getting it through.
Fortunately for Red, though, safety save after the mini-boss was there. She's just gonna go store here. Maybe. Nope. She didn't quite get all of the keys in the door before she placed the save. And then it looked like she didn't rekindle after that. So, dying just returned the keys to her inventory. But she makes it through, picks up Bash.
Bash is what makes this run get a lot faster and a lot more dangerous all at once. Because Bash, you can take projectiles, enemies...
Really anything.
Really anything, and you can throw yourself in one direction and that in the opposite direction. However, you have to get close enough to the enemy or projectile to bash it. So in order to go fast, you've got to put yourself in a little more danger.
It's a very high-risk, high-reward skill. It's kind of the most iconic skill in the game, I think.
Absolutely.
because of how unique it is. Sonic taking a safety save on this Spirit Well in Grotto, which I like that choice. I really like to see safety strats from runners in these races, especially if there's any sort of early deaths or anything. A little bit of interesting XP routing here from Sonic. Not quite sure what she's going for. It looks like maybe the early charge dash route. Red, meanwhile, has done her key dupe and is going to be heading through to the second mini boss of Gitso. This mini boss, of course, relatively easy to 4-cycle, and now we're gonna see Red take this teleporter back to Moon Grotto, because this is where we skip clean water. Oh no! Okay, Sonic makes it out of that little sort of crevice in the rock there. Almost got stuck and hit by the spinning thing. Alright, so Sonic coming up on Ginso, and Red is about to be taking her attempts at the swamp entry trick, so keep an eye there. This is going to be sort of a tell for how the next little bit of the race goes, because it's really easy to lose time on this frog trick.
Getting the blind movement really nicely.
Setting up this frog. Looks good so far.
Ooh.
Oh no, don't. Okay. Only takes 2 damage there. So, this is really interesting because she needs to not take another hit on these spikes.
Oof.
And fortunately, safety save right before this trick starts. So she'll be able to take another crack at it without too much trouble. Oh no, takes 2 more damage. And the frog is not going to cooperate. This is really unfortunate for Red. And it's time. It's a chance for Sonic to make up time.
Absolutely. Oh, Red taking more damage from the frog.
Of course, remember, Red has 4 health. So if she takes 2 damage and then has to take a hit on the spikes, that's what's been killing her. So far, this looks good. This looks promising. Oh, no! Doesn't quite get it, but the frog's still alive.
Dead.
There it is.
Yep. So there's a little...
And the safety save.
Oh, good. There's a little spot that you can get the frog to bash over after the spikes that doesn't throw you into the spikes yourself. But she manages to get through here and on her way to the stomp tree.
Sonic, meanwhile, has come up on the first Ginso mini-boss. So, see how those mini-boss spawns are. Looks to be having a little bit of trouble with some of those spawns.
Looks like she's pacing her shots on controller.
Yep. There are a lot of different ways that people use Spirit Flame. There's the mashing, the pacing, and of course the cheating scroll wheel. We like to joke that is basically optimal mashing.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic almost good. She does take down on that cycle. So almost to the bash tree now. Red, another safety save before this frog trick again, because as we've seen, frog tricks are not necessarily the nicest things. But she grabs this ability cell first try, and is coming up on the Kuro cutscene skip.
Now, if this is all done properly, we're not going to say anything, and that's a good thing. Ooh, taking a bit of damage on the spikes. Setting up.
She sets it up, looks good, and it's
she's
good.
Through.
So no bird for Red.
No bird.
And a little bit of a detour here for this extra health cell, while Sonic has picked up Bash.
Red is also going for that extra energy cell, which I believe I'm remembering Sonic doesn't actually like taking that one.
Really? That's interesting. Because I know that energy cell was first introduced during the last tournament as an extra sort of safety measure. We, of course, later discovered that it was, in fact, faster. So pretty much everyone gets it now. Red electing to start the save anywhere at Charge Flame in preparation for the Hologrove teleporter cutscene skip. It's one of the skippable cutscenes in the main menu, but it also comes with an unskippable cutscene right after it, and save anywhere just is a nice way of skipping all of it at once.
This is a speedrun. We don't want to watch long cutscenes.
Nope. Looks like Sonic has successfully key-duped and is on her way to the mini-boss.
Yep.
And then she'll be heading back towards, should be heading back towards Swamp. Okay, good. She's at more than 2 health. Doesn't die on those spikes.
Ooh. That's good. Sonic making quick work of this mini-boss. And Red is heading up to one of the more difficult tricks of the run. Going to go for Fast Stompless, which is bashing a spider shot all the way over to something off screen, running back down and despawning something in the way so that we can skip half of the glide cutscene.
And doesn't like that first shot.
Doesn't like the second one either. Third time's the charm.
That looks good. Let's see if she
Bashes
can
off
get
the
to the
lantern,
cell.
the other lantern. Nice spider shot. Lantern to the cell. And gets
And she
it.
gets it. Gets that cell and gets teleported into the cutscene without having to go and stomp the rocks at all. Alright, Sonic coming up on Swamp Entry in just a second. Going to skip this laser cutscene. And Red, meanwhile, is picking up Glide.
Mm-hmm.
So we're about to have a lot going on the screen at once. Sonic is going to be attempting Swamp Entry, while Red will be going for Sorrow Bash in just a minute here.
Sonic not going for the safety save. Good. You know, Red is going
Red
for
takes a hit on the bird. Places the safety save right before Sorrow Bash.
And
Sonic gets
through
Swamp
the
Entry.
swamp.
Right, eyes on red screen for Sorrow Bash. Looks good. First try Sorrow Bash from Red.
2 difficult tricks, both going off at the same time, both nearly flawlessly.
Those are both decent-sized sequence breaks. Sorrow Bash, of course, the biggest sequence break that we have in the run. But enemy manipulation, just taking advantage of whatever enemies we have to get into areas we're not supposed to get to. Red, coming through the Dorito Cavern, grabs a little bit of extra experience in order to set up a level up for later on in the run, and is going to be heading to Charge Jump. Looks like she will be starting the save anywhere here early, which means that the path back through those spikes will be essentially mostly blind.
Oh, this one's always really scary. I think this and the one people like to do in Lower Black are 2 of the scariest save anywheres.
Yeah, this one in particular, we have to remember that these spikes do 4 damage. She does have 5 health, but she's taking a hit on that slime. So the spikes will kill her. Come on, Red. Looks good. And she's through. Sets up the Terror Break. And is heading up towards Sunstone.
And Sonic is skipping the ability cell up by the frog.
That's an interesting choice, and I wonder if that's what this extra experience that she's picked up is. Because that cell is a difficult manipulation for that frog, and the frog can very easily just walk off into spikes. So, wouldn't surprise me if that's what the extra experience was, is sort of a backup for that.
I could see that being a possibility. I'm not going to say that I'm certain, but we'll just have to see where the rest of her experience rating goes.
And that is very true. Sonic also gonna stop and take this this other health cell, the same one that Red took, just to get that extra safety before Sorrow Pass. Red, meanwhile, is exiting Sorrow Pass, has picked up the Sunstone, and is going to go towards Misty to get Climb.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, almost takes a hit on the spikes, but
Oh.
fortunately saves it.
Sonic is gonna go for the other energy. Ooh, barely manages to get over to that side of the wall too. Nice save.
Right, and now we get to just see just all of these movement options that we've picked up come together.
Is Red stuck?
Red just got stuck on geometry. If you have that rocket jump angled a little bit wrong, you can get stuck up in the tree there, and it's a bit of a pain to get back out.
Depending on what angle you have, sometimes you get stuck right near one of the branches, and sometimes you get stuck in the branches, which is potentially useful for certain categories, but not this one.
No, I don't think that would. I don't think that one would be particularly useful. But fortunately, she had the sense to just reload and had a save that wasn't too far back.
From what I am hearing from our truckers, the exact same thing happened last year to Red. This is
Really?
This is what I am hearing from our truckers.
That is unfortunate that it happened again, but it doesn't look like it's going to cost too much. She has a really, really sizable lead to play with here.
That she does. Sonic getting through towards the Valley of the Winds and up as well.
Red scared me for a little bit there. Got hit by the Frankie and fell into spikes, but she had enough iframes to get out. Picks up Climb. Only one more skill to go, and that is Grenade. So now we just get to see all these movement options come together in the back half of Misty for Red.
Ooh! Almost saved it with the Baneling, but got stuck under the platform.
Fortunately, skill tree's autosave, and getting sent back isn't a huge time loss right there. Sonic coming up on the area of fast stalls. I don't believe she's going to be going for that, though.
I'm not certain. She's going for it.
She's going for it. I do like the attempt of going for it. Oh.
Oh.
Huh. Okay.
All right.
That is interesting, to say the least. Doesn't like that shot.
Doesn't like that shot either.
That shot.
No, no, it hit the floor.
Yep, I saw that.
Oh no.
Red, meanwhile, approaching the Misty mini-boss. There are, of course, a multitude of different quick kills that we can use on this, so we'll see which one she opts to take. Depending on it, you may not even see a mini-boss. One of them's dead. there it is.
Oh, Sonic? I'm not sure if that death was intentional.
Oh! Red missed XP there.
Oh,
Didn't
no.
level up. And the XP despawned before she could reach it. So she's gonna have to make a little bit of an adaptation to account for that.
Sonic's... Ooh. Takes another death to the spikes.
Sonic having a lot of trouble with fast stompless right now. Like, while I understand the reason of wanting to go for it. Like, it seems like it's it would be a good decision to just cut her losses, move on, and get to glide.
Looks like Red might have taken an intentional death there to redo the mini-boss, and so she could get the level up off of it.
But, she did get the level up, which is a good thing. Though, there are certain, other options for ability cells that you can pick up, and XP that you can pick up to sort of make up for a missed level there, but definitely going back, getting the level, that also works. Coming down into lower Blackroot, where, of course, we pick up Grenade, the final skill of the game. So, after that, Red is just going to be racing towards Horu to finish the run. Let's see if she gets this laser cycle here. It's going to opt to wait on it. I kind of like that. I didn't trust that. I don't ever trust that cycle if I don't see the laser turn off when I'm falling. And she didn't see it, so it makes sense to just take it safe and wait. And Sonic apparently has debug menu up.
It would appear she may be trying to restart her game. Technical difficulties seem to be happening, but...
Of course, debug functionality is not allowed in the races, of course.
On the left-hand side, Red going for the grenade jump.
Gets it second try, nice. Barely doesn't die to the laser there.
Choosing to wait to get on the cycles.
That looked like she burned a couple energy there, so...
Looked like she missed a rocket jump.
Looked like she missed a rocket jump and then also hit the button again and fell back down. Another grenade jump setup? Aww.
Oh no. That
would have been an interesting one.
It looks like Sonic is back up and ready to keep going.
She reloaded the game. And, meanwhile, Red, taking advantage of that Thornfelt Swamp teleporter from earlier, takes a safety save on it, probably to pick up that energy that she dropped on the exit from Light Grenade, is heading towards Horu Fields. And the final dungeon, where of course we have 2 frame-perfect tricks to culminate this run.
And since she got the experience, got the health cell from Spider Cell on the teleporter in BRB, she looks like she's skipping the Horror Fields one.
Yep, already at 6. No need to take a 7. Setting up another grenade jump. Doesn't get it first try. It's gonna go for it again. I really like this grenade jump. Opting not to take a third attempt at it. He's just gonna head over to the door and get ready for door warp.
Sonic through Sarabash.
Good job there.
Alright, so as you said, Red getting ready to deal with door warp. Another frame perfect trick that warps us first try to the very end of Escape.
So just the final escape left from Red, and of course one more frame-perfect trick at the end of it with another grenade jump to skip part of the final cutscene. And not only that, but you cannot take damage in this escape, or else you don't have enough health to damage boost through the poison water. Sonic taking a death in the Dorito cavern there. Oh, fortunately she does have a safety save in Sorrow, so not too much time loss, but it's just it's not ever really pleasant to just have to redo sections of it again.
No, it doesn't have any energy up here, so he's got
no energy, so no safety save, no ghost, and only 3 health. Can't take a hit there. Red makes it out of the poison water. Barely doesn't spawn Kuro. So she definitely has time to set up this grenade jump. Sets it up. Setup looks good. Doesn't get it first try. Sonic making it through the charge jump, and Red is
gets it second try.
She'll just be holding right up until the end of the game. Red will be taking this victory.
All right. Sonic, having grabbed charge jump, and is heading back through the Dorito cave.
Sonic is about to be setting up a Terror Break. That is intentional damage because we do want to die here. Of course, Terror Break being dying with a charge jump hitbox active, and then respawning next to a breakable wall.
Red is done.
Red coming in with a 3908. That is going to be... her first match is going to be putting a win on the board. And not a bad first race time.
Not at all. Despite the different experience route that Sonic has taken, she is going to be able to skip this cutscene, which is always good.
Yeah, this cutscene is 70-something seconds long, so we definitely don't want to be watching that.
Absolutely not.
Now, Sonic gonna just be descending out of Sara Pass, and then just has to make her way through Misty, and pick up Climb, and go grab Light Grenade and head to the end of the game. So, not a whole lot left. Oh no, takes a hit on the spikes there.
Did have the safety save though, coming back down.
That is one of the sort of small benefits of placing that extra save for the Terror Break right before there, is that you get to just rekindle it for free heading down. So any sort of deaths exiting Sorrow just send you back there instead of all the way back to the stone at the top. Oh no, falls a little bit too low there and just drops into the spikes. So hopefully she'll make it through this time.
Gets through there. Does
Nice
take the meteor kick down.
And is she gonna save?
Yes, she is. She's into Misty.
Stops for a little bit to grab that extra energy, because we do like to be able to charge dash everywhere in Misty. I honestly feel like charge dashing in Misty just makes this area so much safer. The enemy placements are just in really good locations, so it makes it really hard to actually hit anything.
Unless you end up hitting the wrong thing. Trash bashes are horrible in Misty.
Fortunately, Sonic looking clean so far. This first bit of Misty takes a little bit of a hit on the spikes there, but he's got full health, so still good. hopefully we'll see another safety save coming in here before this next sort of fall through these spikes.
Does
No.
not look like it.
All right.
Oh.
These spikes do deal 3 damage.
Oh,
no!
man.
That is what I was afraid of.
Had to save before this part, but still has to go back and get the other thing.
But unfortunately, could be a lot worse. So that could have been all the way to the beginning of Misty or all the way back to Sunstone without those safety saves. So really good to see the safety saves, and there's another one. Not gonna get eaten by these spikes this time. Does take a bit of a hit there, but of course being at full health this time doesn't
And
matter.
she's through to the climb tree.
Now we just get to watch the back half of Misty. Misty, of course, being so much about movement option, what we have available. So I always really enjoy just seeing different movement strategies that people use.
Everyone has their own little bit of individual flair that they like to throw into Misty. Whether it's a large amount of charge dashes versus rocket jumps, whether it's grenade jumps. It's always really cool to see which runners like do.
It really is. There's so many different options.
Getting over those spikes, taking a safety save.
Alright, I really do like seeing the safety saves. I just can't say that enough, I think. Because it is so easy to just fall into spikes or get hit by a laser or something.
Almost everything in Misty can and does want to heal you.
Pretty much. A little bit of a hit there. Remember, the spikes do deal 3 damage, so taking another hit will kill Sonic here.
Through there. Oh, going up to the last keystone now. Make the safety save.
Yes, there it is.
Oh, okay. Ooh, bit of trouble with the rocket jump there. So she was going for that.
A little bit low on that rocket jump. So just gonna take down the spikes and try again. Still too low. The charge dash isn't actually targeting. She opts to just give it up and do a sort of more traditional bash method of climbing up that area.
Taking another safety save at the bottom of the meatballs.
And just makes it up through the meatballs without any trouble. Almost to the mini-boss, so we'll see what sort of quick kill options Sonic elects to take here. Don't hit those spikes over there. Good call. Realized that she was about to hit the spikes and went back, bashed the Frunky for a little bit more hype there.
Getting
Probably
energy here.
not
making a safety save. Taking some damage.
Oh, well, one's dead.
Ooh, misses this
Missed
jump.
the charge jump, but didn't get hit.
Gets the next one and levels up off of it.
Alright.
Ooh.
Just the back, the final stretch of Misty, and then onto Grenade. There's a safety save.
There we go.
I feel like there's not really a lot to talk about coming up on Grenade itself. It's a lot of just optimizations in movement and runners and their preferences of how they enjoy getting through certain sections. we do have the laser cycles coming up that we should be aware of. Sonic is
Absolutely.
on 2 energy, so we'll see how she spins that. 'Cause 1 goes away here, but does still have energy for the Soul Link before the Lost Grove cutscene.
There is also a small energy refill that she can get that's right next to where she comes up to go near Get Grenade. So
She's gonna elect to wait on this cycle. Again, I really like waiting on that cycle if I don't see the laser, so I definitely understand that. Alright, and she is through.
alright, skipping this last cutscene, which is about as long as the Sunstone cutscene.
Yep.
And is
And
through
through
to
to
grenade
grenade.
Jump. Well, grenade to be
Grenade.
used for jumps.
Its only purpose is grenade jump, of course. Until towards the end of last year's tournament. Of course, we thought grenade was useless, but no, it turns out that we do have that 1-frame trick. So we'll see what grenade jump Sonic wants to go for. First try on that one.
Oh,
nice
save, too.
Saves it from the spikes. Waits on the Baneling. Those Banelings do 6 damage. Of course, Sonic only has 5 health. So they are effectively just as instant kill as the lasers here.
Absolutely. Sonic getting through the lasers very well. Going for this one too.
Jump. This is the same one that Red tried to set up, but then decided not to after one attempt.
And Sonic
so
grabbing health.
That should be all she needs for Final Escape.
Heading back to the swamp teleporter that we get all the way before Genso Tree. Heading to Mount Horu.
A little bit of unintentional damage on those crushers there, but it doesn't really matter all that much. Even with a little bit of damage heading into the final sequence, you do get a health refill. So there's no sense in stressing too much about being at full health or full energy right at the start.
Sonic getting through first of the fire elemental shooters. Gets through the others.
Does not decide to go for any fancy grenade jumps over to the horror door. Just a little bit of a shame, but I can understand just wanting to get there. So we'll see how door warp goes. Obviously, we'd all like to see first try.
I believe she can do it.
Just waiting on this autosave. She'll reload and let's see.
Yes,
first try. Very nice. Now for Final Escape.
As I said before, Sonic can't take any damage on Final Escape because she has to get to the fish with all of her health. Because we don't clean the water in this route.
Right, and that means that poison water does 1 damage every second that you're in it. So we have to be in it for a minimum of 4 seconds. We need at least 5 health in order to make it through. And of course, everything in this Final Escape does more than 1 damage. So taking a hit before that is
basically lethal.
Is guaranteed to be lethal. And even with 6 health, sometimes you do end up taking 5 hits from this poison water. Let's see how the fish positions are. It's all dependent on the fish positions, how much damage you take. She gets through taking 5 damage, 6 health.
Not Spawn Kuro.
And coming up on the final grenade jump setup.
Alright.
Setup looks
Good.
And she's through
And
first
gets
try.
it first try.
No soft lock.
GG.
Just gotta hold right now, and Sonic will be done shortly. I always like seeing the disjoint between the cutscenes there. There's just an Aurelus feather gliding down towards the spirit tree.
Mm-hmm. Sonic now just has to hold right with Naru. Are we gonna see the hops?
I don't think we're seeing hops. We're not gonna see any hops here. Sonic is finished with a 52-53.
Alright, well, good job to both of the runners.
That was quite the race, and we're going to see if we can get our runners in here for an interview real quick. So, hello, Red.
Oh, well, hello there.
So, how do you feel after that run?
Oh my gosh. Well, my arms are starting to regain some feeling, and my heart rate has slowed to a mere like 118 beats per minute. So, progress.
So, my sort of first question is, were you watching Sonic's stream?
I did end up pulling her stream up last minute. It's something I've never done before. I like to kind of sit in my own headspace and be like, it's just me in the game. You know everything you know at this point. Just relax and have fun and do it. Don't worry about anything else. But I was having a kind of a pros and cons list chat with some other runners last night, and I was like, you know what? Well, why not? Let's just try it. Don't knock it till you try it. Let's pull it up and see what happens. So yes, I did have that.
Nice. So this win actually moves you up to 1-0. It's your first match.
My first
so you're
match.
currently tied with Vulgin and Hobbs. How do you feel about those matchups?
Hobbs and I are definitely gonna have a very fun race. I'm very much looking forward to it. We're kind of both in this like D-Rust phase, and both of our like average running times in this most recent D-Rust are very similar. Our current PBs for this specific D-Rust in the last couple of months are very similar. Though I actually just PB'd this run on my current D-Rust by like a minute. So that's good. So that's going to be a very interesting one. Very much looking forward to it. Volagin is, that one's just, you know, that one's just going to be like, I'm just going to do all the grenade jumps I want because anything I do doesn't matter.
All right, yeah.
I don't know.
You got any questions you want to ask, Poogle?
When did the nerves either stop or slightly cease, if at all?
Oh, good question. I don't know if they ever really did. I kind of like I literally just try and like focus on my breathing. I try and just like relax, and it never happens. My heart rate is still very elevated. I can like actually feel my pulse and my heartbeat like through my arms and my ears, like pretty much the entire time. But I just keep taking a breath and making it work. But I don't know. I can't believe I got stuck in that misty tree again. The same thing as last year. Oh man.
That rocket jump?
Yes. Same place. That was like the first time that ever happened was last year. And then I was like, yeah, of course it's going to happen. And it hasn't happened since then. That is the one and only time, except for tonight. Now, the two and only times that it have happened are my my tourney races.
All right, well, we're also
Speaking of
joined by
nerves.
Sonic.
Speaking of nerves,
hey,
how are you
girl.
doing on that, Sonic?
Hey!
I know you were also feeling really nervous before this. How are you feeling now?
Actually a little bit angry at myself, but I'm not even sure why. It's kind of weird.
So, I know you were having a lot of trouble with Fast Omnibus in that run, and eventually elected to just not bother with it.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's true.
What led you to try to be so persistent at wanting to get that?
Well, since I was running behind, I was like, I've been practicing fast stompless. I should just throw it in and do it because I've been getting it almost fairly consistently. Not every time, but most of the time. And I just couldn't nail it. I was like, okay, well, this is not working, so there's no sense in delaying and just grab it and go,
That's reasonable.
Is there anything you were overly upset about besides Fast Stompless that you felt you could have done better? Or is there anything conversely that you were really pleased about?
Okay, I have a couple of thoughts. All right.
That actually goes for both of you.
Okay. So the thing, and I'm not gonna lie, I got pretty tilted, is I took that death in the early game. Like, the death in Glades. That set me back an immediate minute. Right there. I was like, great. And I mean, Blackroot was a little difficult, but it wasn't too bad. All right, so going from there, I made some of what I consider my usual mistakes that I'm constantly working on. So I wasn't too displeased. Fast Stompless was, as I said, kind of. I was like, yeah, you know what? There's no reason not to go for Fast Stompless because if I do get Fast Stompless, I save the time I've lost. So that's why I went for it. But when I didn't make it, I was behind. But the end game, I was very, very proud of that end game. Like, able to throw all of those grenade jumps except for one in there. And to nail it. That felt amazing. Like, the last quarter of the game felt phenomenal. The early game was really quite disappointing.
Yeah, you and I were talking, Sonic, too, and you were saying that you felt very comfortable with your end game, and I was like, oh, I struggle with my end game, so I'm glad you were able to pull that.
Oh, thank you. And congratulations on the win.
Thank you, darling! I just want to start by saying, girl power, by the way, because we got 3 ladies up in this business right now, and that's pretty damn cool. One thing I definitely need to work on is that I menu like a grandmother that had just like gotten a double knee replacement. So that's something I certainly need to work on for the time being. I was taking everything very slow and collected of just like, okay, so I do this. It's not the muscle memory button clicks at this point. It's just very slow. Like, okay, so we save, we have the UI up, we put the keys in the door, and then we can, yes, now we can kill ourselves. Got it. And then, okay, because I'm building muscle memory. So we'll work on that more.
All right, well, I think that is going to just about do it for us tonight. We have 4 more matches coming up for you all tomorrow in a block between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be starting with Mr. Randomson versus Noxitu. And not sure what channel that will be on right now, but you can check our schedule and we'll have that updated as soon as we know.
Absolutely.
So for now, thank you to Poogle for joining me for commentary. Thank you to our Truck and Restream, Oshi and Meldon. And thanks for everyone who came out and watched. We will see you all tomorrow with more races. Oh, and Xavier. Xavier was also in the truck.
Rude.
Thank you, Xavier.
Thank you, everyone who was able to make this a possibility tonight. And, well, everyone have a good night, and we hope to see you all tomorrow.
Trojan watching the teleport, and Trojan is his attempt at the swamp entrance is really good here, and he gets in first try, very nice. F needs to get this right away to not.
While he was doing that, F actually took a different. He got an early charge dash level up, so he actually has charge dash before Trojan does here. That'll allow him to actually quick movement through this section than Trojan did have.
Up his first one, tries to line it up, goes for it again. His position looks pretty good, and he's through
That
with no
looks
soft
solid.
one. And all Trojan now has to do is hold right for about 40 seconds, and will be coming in with a mid 34. Very respectful.
So poison water though, because anything before then, it's going to do more than 1 damage and take out too much health for you to be able to get through the poison water in the first one. So that extra health spell is purely only for that final water scene.
It's a tree.
Alright, Sonic. Sonic making
you can
another
do this.
this poison water. Oh man.
Oh.
That is so scary. I thought that Frankie was gonna. So far, this looks good. This looks promising. Oh,
No.
doesn't quite get it, but the frog's still
not
alive.
dead.
There
Gets
it
it.
is.
Third time's charm.
That looks good. Let's see if she
Dashes
can
off
get
the
to the cell.
lantern. The other lantern. Nice spider shot. Lantern to the cell. And
And
gets
she
it.
gets it. Sets it up. Setup looks good. Doesn't get it first try. Sonic making 3 charge jump, and Red is
Gets it
through.
second try.
She'll just be holding the same trick. So we'll see what grenade jump
She's
Sonic
going for
wants
it.
to go for. First try on that one.
Oh,
Nice.
nice save too.
Saves it from the spikes. Waits on the Baneling. And coming up on the final grenade jump setup.
Alright.
Setup looks good.
Good.
And she's
And
through first
gets it
try.
first try.
No soft